Good grief, this is the most obedient audience I think we've had at a workshop. Gosh, remarkable. Bruce, you especially, right?
Me especially.
Yeah,
I did good,
I know.
didn't I?
Yes, yes, yes. Well, my job is to wrap it up, and I just wanted to say thank you. I think our goal here was to gather input on, in particular, a paper that we're working on relevant to class location methodology. I must say, I think we satisfied our goal of gathering information, of getting different perspectives. I think I probably share the thought of many of you in the room that I think we came in with a certain point of view on it, a level of knowledge. I think there are lots of you in the room. I've heard, the conversations that perhaps picked something up that they didn't realize as perhaps an option on the way to move forward, or as far as brushing up our skills on what the class location methodology is all about, and then some of the issues that we've been talking about. I really won't do a comprehensive wrap-up as far as the comments. I will summarize some, but just some of the key points I picked up, and I apologize if I missed some of the key ones that perhaps you thought were important. But just for starters, in the morning session we had the PHMSA, the regulator panel, and then of course Mike led us in and gave us an overview, along with Steve giving a summary of some of the options that we're looking at, as well as some of the challenges of how the integrity management regulations currently, as they are contained in our regulation, have many tentacles that affect many other sections of the code. Related to, with Ian, we blamed him for bringing the cold weather in. Sorry, Ian, but Ian, we appreciate your perspective on the Canadian use of class location methodology. And then later with the state review, definitely, we heard from Don Sturzman and Steve Pott, definitely the potential impact on the states of adopting a change to the regime as far as, both from a resource standpoint, but then also on statutes that are already implemented. I think that would probably affect every state program we have out there. And, probably if we do something, if we do make a change, keep it simple. I think there's overall support for the current methodology that we have in there, but if we do tweak it to sort of keep it simple. Then moving on with, in the afternoon session with, Inga and the proposed bifurcated approach, the approach of, of course, the theme of, why replace good pipe. I think that was a common theme with industry, and the theme, which I think we all share, putting resources where they're most effective to enhance pipeline safety. But with the bifurcated approach, my understanding, or just to basically summarize that, is to have for new construction, rather than go through and deal with every aspect of the regulation and acknowledging that there are a wide variety of assets that are out there to deal with, that you already have, a population of pipe out there, but for new pipelines, consider an approach that would deal with that, to have a single factor for that design factor that would be 0.72. The other part of that would be to deal with a class location change that we were handling under special permits, but to deal with that issue through regulation as well. I think AGA similar, let's see, they consider the effects on the lower diameters, smaller PIRs that are less than 660 feet. They support an alternative solution. And of course, I think the other message from Jerome there was, incorporating class location change methodology into current code, 192 code. Then moving on, again, I'm really summarizing kind of some basic notes here. In the afternoon session, Carl and Rick, certainly, just on the note related to where we stand, let me just mention a couple of things, because I think Carl brought up some good points, good questions. One is related to data. Obviously, with any policy that would move forward, and we're not even there at that point. We're at the point right now just learning and collecting information and writing a report. But any any change in policy or code as we move forward would have to be supported by data. Carl acknowledged the committees that we've formed for data quality and analysis. In fact, we have a meeting tomorrow. The gas data quality team is dealing with that. Related to, I'll just on the topic, and Rick and Carl talked about this, IMP 1.0 and IMP 2.0. With IMP 2.0, we're acknowledging, that IMP 1.0 there's a firm foundation there on which we have to improve. There are a lot of lessons learned coming out of the recent incidents, and obviously, and then also our inspections, as well as some other areas. What we have in play right now, as we move forward beyond IMP 1.0, just to let you know, and you've probably heard a number of these. One is the initiative or the recommended practice that's being developed under API for 1173 for safety management systems. We see that that has a future component or future it fits in as far as where we head with how pipelines are operated, and as far as moving the safety ball forward to improve based on the lessons learned. Just to put it in a nutshell, and I was speaking about this last week at an API conference, was one of the common threads of all these incidents is the issue of organizational failure, and how companies need to really improve internal processes to deal with information they already have that maybe was hidden that has ultimately led to failures. So with that and the whole SMS concept that's rolled up into RP 1173, the whole Plan, Do, Act, Check, Act routine, that we see that as a path forward. Now that's one aspect of when we say where we headed, the future that is rolled up under this IMP 2.0 umbrella. The other aspect is the current rulemakings we have out there. We really can't talk about the intimate details of that, but you would say, or I would say, that they really address some of the low-hanging fruit of the issues that we've seen, both in the liquid rule and the gas rule. So those have a component of IMP 2.0 as we head forward. And then furthermore, as we head forward and beyond the final development of SMS, which the comment period just closed on, we will, I know we've talked about a workshop before on IMP 2.0, but I think we're going to look at all these pieces that are in play and then have a workshop to discuss where we need to go, what other things we need to be doing. So stay tuned on that. And then Rick, in addition to, gosh, I appreciate you keeping us awake. You're really good at that. I always enjoy your enthusiasm. Certainly some of the points you brought up, I think, related to knowledge of the limitations of current tools, I think, comes into play with our confidence in how we move forward on a policy on expansion of or the current or changes to the current class location regime. And then, of course, the urging that we do follow through on IMP 2.0 before we move on changes to that regime. I think that was one of the points that Rick made as well. So with that, again, I think we all come here with a common goal, and that is to ensure safety of the public. I think we all have different ideas on how to get there, but we all agree that it does come down to putting our resources where they're most effective, and we certainly, that is what we're after. And the debate usually occurs on where that is most effective. So with that, I'd like to remind you that, I don't know, did I miss anything blatant, Steve or Bob? Okay. Let's see, I have to link there to the meeting. I'd also like to say thanks. These workshops take a lot of work, a lot of planning to put on, and just on, the PHMSA staff, certainly Mike Israni and Steve Nanny have been, and then Bob Smith have been really key players in putting this event on here as well as the support staff that we've had here present today to handle the registration and the, making sure things were in order. So I'd like to thank you guys, especially for, I think the things went very well, and I appreciate your your efforts there to that end. To the speakers who've traveled from far to bring their perspectives on the topic, I think that was very helpful. And with that, I wish you safe travels. Yes, hold on. Oh my gosh, we have a last-minute question. Okay. Yes, the comment period, yeah. We had a little discrepancy on when it ended. It will be May 27th. So you're free to submit comments to the docket. We had the link. You'll see it on our website for the meeting site as well. So with that, is there anything for the good of the order in wrapping up? Mr. Boss.
Terry Boss with INGA. I'm trying to understand probably how this will fit into context. Like we mentioned in our presentation, we're trying to put together some concepts during this concept period, and we've talked to a lot of folks before, and I think there is some kind of consensus building on this. As we move forward and we provide these comments, and we realize there's a lot, very major rulemaking coming forward, if there is some progress made on this, where does this kind of fit within a regulatory structure as you would envision in the future on activity on this? If there's enough notice and comment, could it be incorporated, or what's the future scope of the activities that we're talking about today?
Okay. My opinion is only my opinion, so it's not speaking for the official position of the administration. But that it depends on what value that we perceive that we'll get out of it, and as far as does it have legs and move forward. If it it's just too soon to say. Let's get the report out, and then we'll see where we need to go. We have a lot of irons in the fire right now, as has been acknowledged. We have over 42 congressional mandates, 40 plus 2 that we recently received, and then a number of other issues that are in play. So we just have to see how all these fit together. And really, is that, advancing the pipeline safety ball forward, given the effort that would be involved in doing that. So we just have to see what we come out with. Again, coming into today, we're neutral. Let's, as a regulator, so we're going to write the report. We'll finish that up by June, and then let's see where we go from there. But, obviously, we're not afraid to propose rulemaking if it makes sense. Any other final thoughts, questions? Okay. Well, again, thank you, and look forward to continuing the dialogue. Safe travels back home. You want it?
There sounds like there's a difference in opinion. I understand. I missed that. It's been a long time.
I used to do all my work on that. Yeah.